When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sin vs. the World. I'm Septum Sin, this is Kotobuki Jake,
Hi.
and we're here to show you what they got.
Yes.
Of course, before we get started this time, alas, no new Gundam
Yet.
yet.
Let's go ahead and roll that footage. And then, before we really launch in, there is Gundam on the horizon. We'll go ahead and do a quick bit of news this week because it's awesome. The Gundam part's fun, but the other part is awesome. Apparently, over the weekend, Nozomi Right Stuff announced several items on their release slate, including more Gundam.
Yes.
But they have announced most of the parts of El Hazard, which is way overdue for a re-release. And this is what has me stoked. They are releasing Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. Yay! No news yet on whether it's just the first season or all of it, but someone finally grew a pair and decided to try.
Yeah.
Because Media Blasters dropped that ball hard.
Well, Nozomi puts out a pretty good set.
Yes, I am very excited. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, since you watch our channel because you are awesome YouTubers, you know that we love this show. And if you have any doubts, watch our video of the best anime series and our video on the anime that need an American release.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Big news.
Well, why don't I go ahead and get us started this time around? One show that stirred up a lot of controversy for multiple reasons is getting a physical release. For many of you, this will be your first opportunity to see it, unless you had bought that DC streaming service, which allows you to stream some special shows that DC is doing. And I've heard Doom Patrol is really good.
Two of you.
And you also get digital comics for it, but limited digital comics. So I'm curious, if any of you actually do the streaming service through DC, you should tell me how it is. I like DC Comics for the most part.
Well, like I said, my brother sprung for it, and he likes it, but it is limited. Yeah.
The other one is this is a live-action Teen Titans, and it was there were two things that really bugged people. One
Only
of them,
two?
well, two main things. One of them was Robin being a little bit having too much of a hate on for Batman, and then the other one because they actually see in the I mean, they actually have him. What's it supposed to be? Tim Drake Robin, if I recall.
Is it
correctly.
Tim Drake?
I think so.
I thought it was Dick Grayson.
Even if... Oh, yeah, sorry. Dick Grayson. It's the first
Yeah,
one. And the first one does not have that much of a hate on for him.
No.
And he is saying, fuck Batman. And I'm like, okay. Because I think the scene had him, like, killing people or something like that.
When he became Nightwing, it was partly for that reason. He got fed up with Batman's no-kill rule.
He didn't go out...
You know, and it just... Yeah.
But he didn't go out and kill people like, say, the more recent Robin that you love so much. A League of Assassins Robin.
Pardon my French, but fuck Damien.
But the other one was Starfire. I'll admit that I've heard people say that she really does play the part well. That she plays the part like the character's supposed to do, so that's good. It's just the costume design looked terrible in the picture.
Not just the costume design, just everything about her design was so different from what people expected. It was just, it didn't look at all like Starfire. I've not really gotten to see much of the show at all. I really haven't seen anything beyond the previews.
I've heard it's pretty decent.
Yeah. Like I said, my brother gave me decent reports. He wasn't blown away by it, but he said it was decent.
I've heard Doom Patrol is the one to see on the channel.
I have to give that a go one of these days. But I'm curious about Titans. I mean, even if it is everything has to be dark and gritty. Why can't you just have fun?
Like I said, that's what I hear about Doom Patrol. I hear that Doom Patrol has sort of a road trip quality to it, almost Guardians of the Galaxy feel.
Oh, cool.
So, might be worth checking out later on. I think they're doing a Sandman show as well,
Right.
which will be interesting. Well, that's definitely not light. Well, speaking of light,
There you go. They ought to get whenever they end up making a well, I guess first of all, let's say knock on wood, James Gunn actually does a good Suicide Squad movie. Maybe they should get him to do the Teen Titans movie, you know.
and they're doing a Saturn Girl series too,
Oh, okay.
which I don't know much about Saturn Girl. I
I
just
don't know. I know a little bit, not much. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of an image coming to mind, we've got the next one is this one. We'll put it right there. Rin, Daughters of Mnemosyne. I put it there because you probably got a picture right here. But this is the initial release. This was actually a series that I discovered on Netflix. Back when they gave you the option of doing it all. You could stream if you wanted to. You could get discs if you wanted to. They didn't try to bleed you dry at every opportunity. And back in the day, I had a huge queue from Netflix. Huge.
Yeah, because you're getting the physical
Huge.
discs.
Yes, I was getting the physical discs. I wasn't doing streaming. And Ren was one I discovered through Netflix. It was one of the early series I discovered on my own and introduced the group to. It's not an extraordinarily incredible series. It's short, too. It's only 6 episodes. But it's very intriguing. It's very interesting. It focuses on Rin Asogi and her... what is her assistant's name?
Assistant.
I can't remember her assistant's name. But the two of them run basically, if I remember correctly, a detective agency where they meet this guy who becomes very important in the overall plot line. And you come to find out that he is the victim of sadistic and torturous scientific experiments. I can't remember the name of the twisted psycho piece of work that was behind those experiments, but she is an interesting character. She is so twisted. The show is very it gets dark, it gets bloody, it's twisted, it's fun, but like I said, it's worth a look. And apparently it's getting a re-release this week. You didn't really mention if I'm guessing it's an Essentials release.
Yeah, it's an Essentials.
One of the more semi-essential releases of that bunch. Yeah, I can't read that.
It's I thought I wrote. Yeah, no, I didn't. I
No.
guess I didn't. It's an essentials. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Okay.
They confuse me with their classics and their essentials
Yeah.
lines. I don't really understand a
Now,
lot.
this is not really a classic, but it's kind of like classics by definition are essential. So,
So,
yeah.
is it essential?
Is it safe?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I don't have much to talk about on the next one. Boruto has Set 2. I'm still debating whether I'm going to bother getting into this series. I do have the Boruto movie, but I just don't know. A lot of people are not as in love with this one as they were with Naruto. I guess because it's not as high octane action-wise. But in a way, that kind of intrigues me more about that because I was kind of burned out on the shonen-y aspects of the Shippuden series. But at the same time, maybe, and I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, maybe that makes it lucky. Maybe there won't be a lot of interest, and it'll die off, and they'll just conclude it in a nice, like, tight bow, and then it'll be a short-ish series.
Now, from what I've seen, it is an action-y series. I
Yeah.
guess what it might be is that theoretically it's more of a peaceful period.
That's what I'm saying, is I think it's just the stakes aren't as high.
Right, because the first, I mean, of course, right now I'm reading the manga and I'm reading through the part where they are in pursuit of Sasuke and the Sound 4, because basically Sasuke is defected to Orochimaru. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty high-stakes storyline there, and it's kind of, Carpy really wants in on this video, doesn't he? So, next up, we have a Criterion release this week, and it's a pretty high-profile one. This is one of the better-known Jane Fonda films from back in the day where everyone either really loved her or really hated her. And it's a film called Klute. To be honest, I've never seen the film. I cannot remember much about it.
So I
but I
swore
need
I
to.
had it. And
Yeah.
I guess maybe I watched it and it's down there, or maybe I just don't have it.
But I know it's one that is an essential watch. It's just too dang well known. It's almost infamous among certain crowds. Again, Fonda's political activism did not endear her to everybody. But and she was a very talented actress. I want this, and since it's coming out during the Criterion sale, there's a pretty fair chance I might snap it up quickly. If not, I'll probably get it this fall, so we'll see. But here is your opportunity to get a true collector's edition version of the film, especially if Criterion actually brings their A game, which.
Yep. So finally, for me, there's a movie. I just watched Justice League last night. So I finally have watched.
You had not seen that?
No.
Wow.
So now I've only got one left of the DC movies, and that is Shazam. I have yet to see Shazam, but it is going to arrive soon.
Shazam.
Shazam!
Shazam! Shazam!
But it's going to be arriving relatively shortly. It's out. It's out in the coming week. Best Buy has actually already exited my money from my account because you never know what's gonna. You can guess, but you can never be 100% certain which steelbooks are going to be rare and which ones are going to be plentiful. This one will probably be plentiful, but
Yeah.
I just don't want to take my chances when I want to have a complete DC Universe steelbook collection.
Right.
And so it's going to be coming. It looks fun. I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it's at least as good as Aquaman, but not as good as Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman so far is the high bar in that
Yeah, by far.
movie series. So, but I think the movies are doing well. I think once they dropped one particular director, whose name I won't talk about, from their lineup, they have been recovering as they've been rebooting their universe. So, a little bit more optimistic, and you can definitely tell in the films. They're a lot more colorful now.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Aquaman. When I saw that scene in the Justice League where Aquaman was, I'm like, they bleached it. It looked terrible as compared to the other one. It's just, well.
Yeah, both Wonder Woman and Aquaman, they allowed color into the palette. And from what I've seen in the previews, Shazam does the same thing. So,
Well, he's got a red uniform anyway.
Well, yeah.
It would have been like this if it was the other director. It'd probably be a bleached out uniform, just sort of a dirty reddish color, you know.
Yeah, be about the color of a elementary school dodgeball, you know. So I really want to see Shazam, but I didn't want to see it badly enough to go to the movies. Although, in fairness, I'm having trouble getting out to important movies right now. I haven't even been to the new Spider-Man, and I really want to. But the last one we're going to talk about this week, we didn't have too much of importance this week, really. This is a really good little film, though. It's a weird little art house film that I actually do own, but I'm not sure what's special about this release, but I do recommend it. And it's a film called Moon. And for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the director, but I know it's David Bowie's son. And and it's a weird little, it's almost a one-man show. It does feature the voice of Kevin Spacey, basically doing his best impression of Hal, which, especially given what we now know about Spacey, makes it even creepier than before. But the main, really only actor in most of the film is Sam Rockwell. And Sam Rockwell was robbed of an Oscar nomination. He carries this film beautifully. It's a phenomenal performance. It's kind of a slow burn of a film. It's odd. It's basically about a dude living by himself on the moon. I mean, it's about as exciting as it sounds. But again, as a study in acting, it's pretty incredible. So it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it was actually not bad. I enjoyed it. I don't have it. I don't think I do anyway. It's sad when your collection gets to the size that you don't remember exactly if you have something or not.
Right. And it's so easy to miss this one because it's only 4 letters.
Yeah. Well, I can think of some things with 4 letters. Well, Anycase, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Of course, hit the like button if you enjoy what you have seen. Give us a comment. Let us know what you're looking forward to seeing this week. Of course, share and subscribe. We can always use more eyes on the prize. We're nearing a magical number 100, and they're going to do something special for that. It's going to be at the end of the month, so stay tuned.
And at the end of the week, tune in for our take on the part 2 of Criterion films that really need, films that really need a Criterion release.
So we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.